Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel, where I look into what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com.
Hello, everybody, welcome. Rosie and Corina, psych investigators. Hey, hello.
Hello.
So guys, so I'm back today. I'm back with Karina. And just also wanted to just before today is such a huge day of intense breaking news. Before I start, just give you basically like an introduction or reintroduction because I have had this channel for since late 2017 and I go through periods of on and off posting. And Karina has been, let's say, a guest right on the channel. We've been doing it very intensively since after the election. So there are days when if it's too tight for time that I like the day like yesterday, the day before, I posted anyway, because it's just easy, it's easier and faster, and sometimes it's just at the very end of the like late at night. And I'm actually pleased to see that you guys, some of you have reported, you in your comments say that you rely on it for the news, which is good. So it's motivating because sometimes I'm like doing too much. But anyway, so it's like a very intense time that we're living through. And so, and by the way, Corina just also explained here, Corina just explained that some people ask, why is Corina not? It's your choice, Corina. You don't want to be on,
Yeah.
on screen. That's okay, right?
Yeah, this is your channel, and
Uh-huh.
like you said, I'm your friend and I'm a guest on your channel, and
Uh-huh. Okay.
that's for me, that's fine right now.
Yeah.
And if anything were to change in the future, I would let anybody know here.
And if Corina starts her channel, of course you guys will be the first ones to know. And also just to say this to Corina, that Corina does it. It's okay, but
Yeah,
I've
absolutely, go for it.
not feel comfortable showing her face, but that's okay. And I've ever since I've not met you, it's been like this, Corina. I've never put any pressure, and that's okay because the point is that we feel comfortable and we
Mm-hmm.
talk in a way that we're comfortable, right, Corina? It's
Mm-hmm.
important, right? I've never
Absolutely.
been like, Corina, what's wrong? Like, turn on the camera now. Because some people have jobs where they have to be on there's this whole like controversy that, but that's not the point. That's not the situation. So you don't have to be on camera, Karina. And even if you start your channel by yourself, you don't have to be on the camera either, right? It's just
Right.
thing. You do what you want. It's your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
choosing, and that's it. So,
Yes.
and Karina has been through the most like, the last couple of days have been more, I thought of it as like more maintenance kind of days. There wasn't a ton of new stuff, but look at it's like, so this is very emblematic of when we first uh got in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's satisfying in a way because Karina is calmer than I am about this, to be honest, like the whole election stuff, because sometimes I'm like, oh, is anything gonna happen? And then she's saying, right, Karina, you were saying today that you feel calm, right? Like,
Yes, I feel very calm. I'm
right?
nothing, no anxiety, no
Yeah.
nothing. I'm very calm.
Right. So then when I saw this happening, exactly like because I had seen, and I'm gonna try to gonna go shorts, find the video when I said so. Just to tell you, before this whole thing broke about Romania canceling the election that happened, I had seen, so they have two rounds of elections. The first round that already happened, and the second round was going to happen on Sunday.
Hmm.
So I had looked into it, and I remember, and you also confirmed, Gunnar, that they would be, there's all these people on the street so happy because, oh my God, it's not gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So when I basically fast forward to that day, and it was saying that it was not gonna happen. And
Yep.
then here we are, it's been canceled. And then this also answers another question of another vision, which was about the news that RFK Jr. was going to Romania, right? And over
Yep.
the 2 days. And now, of course, he's not. And I thought he's not gonna go. He's not gonna go. And now you see why. Why would he go? Because I can't. There was a point. The whole point is that he was to promote a fellow Russia puppet candidate,
Hmm.
right? And now that the guy has been exposed, uh, not so
Yeah.
easy. Not so easy. So
No. And I bet your vision with him getting hightailing it out of the country is about to come true too.
But I saw him being like arrested and
Yeah.
interrogated. So
Mm-hmm.
so here we are. So it makes me feel also better because sometimes, honestly, even though of course I saw it and believe it, it's like, oh my God, I told people all this stuff. And it's like, but it's happening. Now you saw, and
Mm-hmm.
this happening now. The other thing that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna get into it right away, but I just here in the introduction, is that so when it first came out, when the news, so this is the okay, so the Supreme Court over there was looking into this. And there was news in the middle of the week that the Romanian security services had released this report saying that there had been manipulation. However, in the media, all I saw here, I maybe I didn't read it thoroughly, was that they were talking about these videos on TikTok. That there was this troll farms that were pushing videos on TikTok about this guy, and I was like, yeah, that's right. You know, there was something shady going on. We did see that there was something probably related to Starlink. We had to look into it again, but the votes were changed. That's what we saw,
Mm-hmm.
and so just only this is how crazy it is. Only today I subscribe to the Financial Times. It's a really respected business newspaper based in the UK. So I was reading comments and someone had mentioned that the details about what they found and that they had entered the voting systems and all that. And I was like, oh my God, that's when I posted twice about this today already in the community page. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what's huge about this is that they have, like, we have looked into this, right? They have found that
Mm-hmm.
Russians have in fact entered the voting systems and they have evidence of it and they're
Yep.
talking about it. And what's sad is that the media here, as far as I have looked, they have not mentioned this. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So
Not a peep.
so it's just like so I just so it's just that, right? It's like right?
Yeah. And
It's
it's happening. It is.
so it's really it's amazing because we're not, so this also confirms the reason why, at first I know we're probably maybe the first ones to talk about the foreign, all these other countries where this was happening. And now it comes full circle where we're starting to see why it's important, right? Even though
Right.
I was just seeing, but now we start to see the connection. How what will happen to them is the same country that did it to them that is doing it to us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. They
So
confirmed it. Mm-hmm.
so it's a very big deal, everything, right? It's a big.
Yes.
So let's get to it. So let me share the screen here. And then guys, there's a lot. So the broadcast today is just going to be bit dedicated to this. And there's a lot of questions that we wrote down here and we're going to go over them because there's so much to talk about just on what it means and like what it indicates to us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, okay, so here's Romania schools, the USA, and the world on how to stop Russian meddling in the election. So, of course, is it a country or if, like, it's a very small country relative to us. I don't know how the
Mm-hmm.
population, probably not more than 5 million. I don't know, but
Yeah.
we're able to do this. So here's the part that I want to emphasize from the articles. I'm going to link the articles. I'm going to just link the free versions of the non paywall versions. Okay, so today, so the article that came out today is this one: Romania scraps presidential election after alleged Russian meddling. This article only mentions the TikTok videos, but the article from 2 days ago is the one where I found this part that is the most relevant. Romania blames Russia for election meddling. And this is where the detail that I photographed, took the screenshots and added to the
Mm-hmm.
post. This is where it comes from. So by the way, and again, reminding you that this is all, we didn't have time to put nails, but it's okay. That this is all at the bottom when I'm gonna have some timestamps. But again, things have been so crazy that I haven't even had time to do the timestamps. But right next to timestamps below the video, you're going to see the links to these articles that you should really share with everybody because this is facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have to scream to everybody. This happened
Yep.
in Romania. This is likely happened. The same thing happened because it's the same criminals.
Yeah.
Why would they do something different, right? Like it's just they're doing it all over the world, including here.
Yep.
So, okay, so
Time
let's
to scream from the rooftops.
That's right. So let's start. Okay.
Let's do our prayer of protection before we start the questions.
That's right. That's right. So let's do it. Okay. So I like to ask for protection, beautiful way of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that it create the good and only the good. And so it is. Okay. So, and I just wanted to say also before I start, I have a small connection with Romania, which is the fact that there is very few, no, nowadays, not very few. There's a few romance. Romania speaks also, Romania is a Romance language. So like Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, French, you have Romanian. So we're sisters. We're probably, if you know, the language structure is probably similar. So it'd be
Mm-hmm.
not complicated to learn Romanian if you already speak one of these Romance languages. Okay. So they come from Latin mostly. Okay. So
Yes.
long story. So I don't even know where to start. So I listed, we're not rightly listening to all the questions. What are the questions? So let's just start asking questions because, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in no specific order, right? There's like, look, all these different questions, but I think we have, wow, look, oh my God, how many pages, right? But it's okay, right, Rena? You have
Yeah,
your
I think a
question.
lot of them will flow into each other.
That's right. So, all right. We're recording. Everything's good. That's right. Okay, good. So let's start here. So, okay. So, what does Biden know about what happened in you know what? In Romania. That's right. We can just
Mm-hmm.
ask, right? Okay, so let's ask.
Mm-hmm.
What does Biden know about what happened in Romania? Let's see. Okay, so
Go ahead. I got something too. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Start, Gonna go
I
ahead.
feel like he knows it all now.
Hmm.
It's I can see the phone call and the folder. It's like he's I want to say he's talking to the head of NATO,
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
and he is being briefed by Ruta that now we have it from them. We have the exact evidence we need to connect it to you guys,
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
and he knows.
Okay. So I wanted to say this that so what I saw immediately was the image of Biden even putting his feet up on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a brief like a printout of the details of what happened, and he's checking against what it's like checking against what happened in the US. He's like checking, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes, exactly the same. And I see that he sees it because it's a smaller country. The same thing happened there, and it's gonna the blows up when we say it happens just like this, it happened here.
Yep.
So he's like, yes, 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 woo. He's kind of like, not that he's happy about it, but they talked about the same things that happened here. So
Exactly.
it tells me, and then it tells me also, like, as you guys know, I talk about it sometimes. I've watched so many crime shows, and it's the same serial killer, the same signature, right? The same actors, they do the same things. Okay, so,
Exactly.
all right. So
Yeah.
now let's go to the next, because we'll have to keep going to the question. So what happens next in Romania? Okay. Okay. What happens next in Romania? I see people are so happy. They're celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
It comes together. And that's right. And I see that, the government over there is unified with a few exceptions to arrest. And I think, guys, it's also the difference is that those countries, they have had dictatorships in the recent past. Because it wasn't that long ago when they had the
Right.
Nicolau Ceausescu. I forgot her last name, but and some of the commenters mentioned that they killed the guy, rid of the guy. So they are not afraid to be like, oh, but what about the civil liberties? How here we have also been gaslit, I think, into
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, but what about the government can do this? The government, it's like if we had been more severe earlier on, we wouldn't have gotten to this point. So they're not afraid. In other words, I see the country over there comes together. They
Mm-hmm.
arrest people, they invest, they I don't say they torture them. It's not that what I meant to say, but they're harsh.
They're
Okay.
harsh.
People, they're like, are you Russia? Go come here, Papa. I'm not saying,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying like this situation is very serious. They take not a
Mm-hmm.
seriously. They take it very seriously
Yep.
because nobody over there wants to go back to the communism situation. Because it's not, it's not that it's about communism, but it's the same kind of like dire poverty, no opportunity, and having to be like everything being about like cronism, right?
Right.
Are you friends with such and such? And then you can have a job. But if you're not nice to this person, it has nothing to do with meritocracy, like nothing. Nobody
Mm-mm.
wants that over there. So they go for it. And I see that, even see that they're going to have elections, not like in the spring or something like that. But until then, the whole thing is suspended. So,
Mm-hmm.
and just quickly ask about that guy. So what happens to him? It's like, oh, and boom, like he's arrested. He's arrested, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
what do we do? Well, that's it. They
No.
have the evidence already of the guy. So
Right.
okay, so go now,
Yep.
go ahead, Granted. What do you
Oh,
pick?
you know what? Honestly, saw the same thing. Mine was metaphorical because I saw them grabbing all of those guys and their heads being like done
Mhm,
with them, off with their heads. They are not messing around
mhm,
because you're right. They're too close to the dictatorship. It's been too familiar to them. They
mhm.
are not going back.
Okay,
So they are going to make examples out of them like we should be doing.
okay. Okay, so now let's go to our case here. So the next question, what happens in the USA now that this has come out uh, about Romania, and what does our government think now that this is public? Our government meaning the security agencies or whatever, the so-called deep state, right? The agencies
Yes.
and the government, or maybe even whatever. So the what does the government in general think now that this is public, and what's going to happen to us now that this is public? Let's see.
Yeah. Interesting.
Go ahead, Quinn, go ahead.
It's actually, I got both sides of the story. There's half the people in the government that are like, oh, oh, wow, really? Like, because they know they're caught. And then there's half the people in the government going, oh, thank you. Finally, we get to do this kind of feeling. So, I mean, I think that definitely we are now, obviously in a place with this being public that we have to face it. We have to say something, we have to do something, or we're going to look like fools and have egg on our face.
Mhm,
So it's not, they can't ignore it anymore.
mhm.
I'm feeling like you can't ignore it. You can't ignore it. So it's exciting. I mean, I feel excited.
But I guess, okay, the about the part of the question, because I'll tell you what I saw, and then I think there's more question about this question. So what I saw is
Yeah.
that somebody dressed like Benjamin Franklin opening, it's a theater production opening up, and like, this is the facts, this happened, this happened, this happened. So everything is going to come out. They are going to expose everything that has been happening here. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it is. And they're kind of happy in a way. Oh, let them go first. It's so we would learn kind of how do we structure this? How do we explain it? Okay, so
Yep.
that's what I see. That's what I see. Now, I guess, but you know what? Let's see. 1 second, Karina.
And
Like,
it makes it more, it's honestly, if they go first, it's so much easier on us as well because we're almost like the guys falling behind it, and it makes it more believable. It makes it easier to
mhm.
swallow.
Okay,
It's
okay.
a good thing.
So
Okay.
I guess I did not get to write this question exactly, but that's the question that's coming up here. Is the question is, we had seen like their astrologers and such that this is the week, and today is the 6th, right? So it was going to be it was a period of the 5th, was it?
Yeah.
5, 6, and 7, something like that. So this is today is the 6th. It's a very big thing that happened today. Is this what, like, does it make sense? What happens in the USA? By that I meant, is anything like this going to happen? Meaning, are we going to learn about this here too in the next? Because again, I don't want to be like, you know, negative or anything, but we have a deadline. We have to certify the elections by the 17th. I think that's the deadline. So we don't have a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
What happened here?
Okay.
Okay, so is anything else gonna come out about what happened in the elections here this weekend, or what? Okay, let's see. And okay, so, or is something similar? Okay, maybe this is the other way to sorry to again interrupt and re-ask a question. Is something similar to what happened in Romania now going to happen in the USA before the 17th of December? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I see that Biden is like he's pulling out. He's like a teacher, or like it's to me. I don't know. Oh, by the way, does Biden have a law? I think he has a law degree also, right?
Yeah, he's a
But I
lawyer.
see that he's like he's a prosecutor. Then
Yes.
say this
Sorry.
that happened, blah blah blah. So that's it. So yeah. So I see yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yes.
I saw 4th of July fireworks celebration, like all that bombastic kind of feeling.
Okay.
Yes, it's coming out.
Okay. And I'm getting a feeling again. By the way, guys, don't attach too much to time, but for some reason, I feel like the whole presentation mid next week. I feel
Mm-hmm.
again, today is the 6th. So let's say in 7 days, it's going to be the 13th. So yes, the stuff has to come out. So right, very soon. Okay, so
Yeah. I hear actually the people at the gals at Andy at Cosmic Gal saying the days and
mm,
how bombastic, and I can feel it. Yes, it's coming out.
okay.
It's you know, we still have till the, I would say till the 15th too, but
Mhm. All
I
right.
think by then, yes.
Okay. So, oh, and it tells me, it shows me in my mind, really, by the way, if you just started watching this channel, I recommend that you watch, I think it's in the 9th of November. Wow, I can't believe it's been a month. That when we first learned about this stuff, we talked about how the moment when Elon Musk was, caught in the air. So it shows me that image again. So it's possible we even that. Okay, but we have to go to all. There's so many questions, and we can leave this other clarifications for later, another day. But okay, so let's go to. Okay, so next is what does Mark Rutte think of this development? And what, if anything, will NATO do about it, given that Romania is a member of NATO? Mark Rutte is the head of NATO, if you don't know. So what does Mark Rutte think about it? And what, if anything, will NATO do about it, given that Romania is a member of NATO? Okay, so wow, okay, amazing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I see this that all the members of NATO are going to have certified like are going
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that we're going to do an like they're going to check your elections essentially. We're not going to let members of NATO
Mm-hmm.
because it's wow, he's going to say it. He's like it's an act of war.
Yep.
Consider
Ding,
that
ding, ding.
an act of war because this is right. It's exactly that
It's
they're invading
exactly that.
in a way, right? It's an act
Yes,
of war. So all the countries includes Canada and the USA. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And
it. It's an act of
yeah, it's an act of war. Interfering with a country's election is an act of war. And now it's NATO has to say it because it is Romania, and they have proven now it's Russia. So now we are at one thing left to do,
mm,
and that's to declare it.
declare it what?
There's nothing left to do.
Declare it what?
Declare that they have been messing in the elections and it's an act of war.
Okay, so then this brings up, and even though this brings up the questions, if they say it's an act of war, does this mean that when this is about the vision again, the question, when we see
Yeah.
Mark making this statement in public, will because if he mentions that it's an act of war, is he going to evoke the Article 5, which is that if you don't know, you can look it up. It's that NATO defends if an uh an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us, all of the countries. So,
Mm-hmm.
because it's Romania is a member of NATO and so is the US. So what are they going to do? Is that the question, Corina, right? Is this
Yes, because
is
that's what would have to be done.
that's right. So is it yes, it's a yes.
Yes,
If they come out and say it that this was an act of war, then this is the correct circumstance to evoke the Article 5. Yes. Okay.
exactly. And it
So
gives them the right then to go back
mhm,
to all the elections
mhm, mhm.
because now the elections have been compromised.
Okay, wow. Okay, so that's great. Now I'm getting already some a note here from Spirit saying that don't worry about, you can talk about it in the next day or something about the details about what it entails, what's going to happen, but just know that when it's done, they will do something. We don't know exactly what it is yet, but it will
Mm-hmm.
be saying yes, definitely within the next 10 days, the latest is saying yes, for sure. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Because
Yes.
according to this, I will have 10 days. Whoa. Okay. So, but let's move on because we have it's a packed day of information. We have to do to, right? We have to
Mm-hmm.
asking. So again, tomorrow we'll look into what happens, the details and so forth. Once I think the article is going to be evoked and so forth. Okay. Now, the next question is, if Romania did this, meaning came out and said that Russia interfered in the elections and gave evidence, why can't America do it? How similar is what happened in the Romania elections to what happened here? This, I'm talking about this one particular election, 2025, not the ones in the past. Okay.
Okay.
2024, I mean. So if Romania did it, why can't America do it? Okay, wow. And
Mm-hmm.
it's saying that America, I see these people immediately. I see people like the GOP, like, oh no. And they have been planted here for a long, they have been preparing for this for a long time. And they have been gaslighting the public for a long time. And it's
Mm-hmm.
from Romania because Romania knows the Russian playbook because they lived it. Okay. So,
Yes.
so to them, it's not just an idea, it's a life they have lived before. So then how similar is what happened in the American election happen here? Yes, saying very similar. They changed the numbers also. Yes.
Yep.
So okay. All
Yep.
right. So
Same thing.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, now interesting. How is Putin feeling now about this development in Romania? How is I'm gonna add also Lavrov, the foreign minister. So how are Putin and Lavrov feeling about this development in Romania? Go ahead, Queen, and then I'll go back.
George, George.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, you were going to do it in your greatest accent, so I'm sure you're feeling the exact
So,
same way I am. He's pissed. He's
okay.
upset, pissed. He knows his plans have been foiled because now it's out. And now what? Now what? Now we're at the point of, yeah, you can't, unless you are going to try and destroy some countries, which you would be destroyed in a heartbeat. There's nothing left for him. He's
Mm,
outed.
mm,
So
mm,
he is upset.
mm. Okay. So it's interesting because guys, some people, I'm gonna do this because people complain about it sometimes. Like, Rosie, you're always like, why do you brush your hair? Can you just do it before it starts? You just do it.
Well,
And
we
because I,
fidget too.
that's right.
Sometimes when you do this work, you fidget
That's right.
and it's hard to complete your sentences sometimes because we have 50,000 thoughts going through our head at once.
So what I'm saying this because I'm trying to find I have the brush just but it's okay if I don't because I see Putin being like, okay, oh my God, like, whoa, 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 what's happening now? Huh? No. What?
No.
Lavrov, go check television. What go happen in television? Lavrov, listen, what's happening? Lavrov, and I see they're both like, oh, here, Putin, no, don't worry, Putin. Sit there, sit there. They will have been attacked. Russia Federation has been attacked today.
Yeah.
Have been
Yeah.
attacked. We have been attacked. We have been accused of meddling. No, but it's not us. We're just defending ourselves because we saw that America meddling in other election because people like them. So we did it to defend because they know that we were going to be attack. Maybe we're going to be accused, but no, they accuse us because they have nothing else to do. Because so what? We're not that popular, but we are people too. We are people too. I want you to listen. We are people, okay? Because and again, I think they sound so discombobulated and bizarre because they're getting caught. And
Yeah.
they're even bizarre with their excuses. Ukraine attack us first. This they do it.
Yeah.
Yes, NATO attack. We only go to Ukraine because we get mad. The thing to do not get us mad. So the same kind of bizarre like justification nonsense, they get even crazier because they have been caught. Yes. And I see that they're like, but listen, Putin is we're almost there, we almost conquer the whole world. Whole world.
Yep.
And then they're
Almost
like,
got away with it.
yeah. And they know exactly, and I see the dominoes falling because
Hmm.
it's 20 countries saying honestly they have metal in a whole lot of countries. So now it's exposed because every single country is going to be like, listen,
No,
something that a lot of people didn't even suspect that could be happening. They were the first, but then it's like
you know
it's,
what? I just heard, Rosie, Pandora's box has been opened.
yes, yes. So that's right. And they're like, damn it. Now, once it's a bit like a disease, once you have an antibiotic, you can eradicate
Hmm.
right, the bacteria. But so
Yeah.
now, until once you have diagnosed what it is and you have the medicine for it, you can kill it. And that's
Hmm.
the moment where we are like that. Now they have the methods, they can compare, they have the forensic evidence. So, okay, so they call it an act of war, which it is.
Yep,
So, okay,
it
so
is.
okay. All right. So now let's go back here. So now how the next question is how is Trump feeling about this development in Romania? Now about this, right now about this development. How is Trump feeling?
She's he's glitching like Elon's systems.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So, it's so weird to me that I know it sounds crazy what I'm gonna say, but I almost feel like he feels a weird kind of relief,
he does. I've been
right?
saying that for a while.
Like that he doesn't, it's not that, I mean, he's as horrible as he has always been, but there's something about this time. I think also he knows that he doesn't have as much power as he did before, right? He has to do what the other people want. The
Exactly.
other country, listen, we bought you for 30, 40 years. Do it what we want. That is your job, but do it what we want. Or
Hmm.
fall down building. You have a building, fall down the building. That's what happened to you if you don't do it. So, so
Yeah,
and it's, you guys, remember, and it shows me the threats that Putin is doing already. Look at the threats. They're threatening Trump. They've been threatening Trump since pretty much the
ex
day you got elected.
yep.
So it's that like now we have to get it now
Hmm.
because this is their culmination of their efforts. So that's what I feel like. Weirdly enough, Trump seems subdued because it's like he just kind of knows
Yeah.
that okay, the gig is up.
Hmm.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right,
And he's more afraid of Putin than he is our own people.
that's right.
So he's scared to death of what Putin would do to him.
Oh,
So if he can get arrested by our people, he'd be so much more relieved.
right. All right. So how is Biden feeling right now about this development in Romania? I see like, yeah,
Yeah, we
so
both, yeah,
happy. We saw this
yeah,
before.
we saw it earlier. He's so excited.
Now, guys, this guy, what the hell? It's something that we knew he was around. He was already really very unlikable before all of this, which is remember how he got into this whole Trump thing? Not even 2 months before, like not maybe less than 2 months before it was just right. Remember this?
Yeah, right October, right
So
in October.
so now there's this guy who's like he goes to meetings. He's just like, what the hell, right? So, but the question is, oh, you know what? Before we ask this question, I want to know how is he feeling about these developments, and then whether he was directly involved in the Romania situation. So, how is Elon Musk feeling about the development in Romania, and was he directly involved? Wow. Okay. So, okay, go ahead, Karina.
He was directly involved,
Mhm. Okay.
and he's glitching as well.
Mhm.
You know how you saw him on the floor?
Mhm. So it's kind of interesting. I see him. The first image I got is him in the bathroom vomiting and
Yes.
having diarrhea. Like,
Same.
because it's saying the nervous, even though he's on drugs and the drugs suppress whatever it is, this feeling, he knows that like the thing that he takes the drugs when he thinks that when he gets a little afraid, he's like, oh, just take these drugs and then I pretend like nothing's ever gonna happen to me. But
Hmm.
even the drugs can't stop it. He knows that shit's getting real and he's being exposed. So he really, and I
Yeah.
see that for the first time, he's not gonna be at a meeting. He's needs some time off, quote unquote. Oh, and I see that he has, of course, he must have a team of doctors or whatever, but then he's like, oh, he's under observation and he's had like almost a convulsive attack or something
Hmm. Hmm.
because he takes too many drugs and his
Yeah.
mind is not in his basically out there being the biggest criminal. So
Right.
it's sort of him. So
Yeah.
yeah, and he knows, and he said, yes, the same method, the same MO. The US is bigger, so it's a little bit more complex, but the cell of it, like the core of it is the same. Okay.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right. So,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
And it was easier to gaslight and control the narrative in the USA. In other countries, he can't.
Mhm.
And it comes back to their bodies are feeling it. They know it's coming. It's
Wow.
making him sick. He can only mask it so much with the drugs.
Wow. Okay. Now let's change subject a little bit, right? Because again, I'm sure we have other questions about Elon Musk, but we just have all these questions to address. We're pretty close. We're doing good.
Yeah, we're doing
Oh,
good.
okay. So now what about, so Georgia is the other, is a country nearby, near Romania, but the difference is, uh, Russia already had a war with them in 2014 that they won, and it's more Ukraine-like, the Georgia situation. It's more serious, and people are on the streets, they're protesting, but the election happened for them in October. So what has happened? So what about Georgia? Their elections already happened. Can they overturn things at this point? And I don't think they are members of NATO. I don't believe, but let's see. Okay, so what about Georgia? The elections already happened. Can they turn things at this point?
Yeah, I think they can.
So interesting. I see. Oh, did I feel like I've seen this before? May have said something like this before. I see that they're observing the things happening. They're fighting and they're observing at the same time, watching television about. They're observing what's happening in Romania, and then I see NATO acts.
Mm-hmm.
Then things really turn in their favor. But it's saying
Mm-hmm.
that they can't do it alone. And
Right.
it always shows me also the serious situation for Russia. So like once Russia is weakened on multiple fronts, then it's easier for them to fight. And it's saying
Mm-hmm.
that once NATO deals with them in their own countries, then they're going to help Georgia because nobody went, like, right? It's an active.
Exactly. That's what I saw too. NATO steps in to help them because once the proof comes out, they can show everybody that they're going to go back to elections like that and help them.
Yes. Okay. Great. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay. Now that Russia's methods have been exposed in a real life case, what will happen in the USA and other countries where they have meddled? Okay. So now that their methods have been exposed, what will happen in the USA and other countries where they have meddled? Okay. So interesting. It's saying, it shows me again, kind of like what we said before, that I see that the US and NATO are going to demand that the countries do reviews, and it considers this to be an act of war, and this will force other countries to say the US can, and NATO and the EU can force countries to be like, you know what, we cannot do business with you unless you have certified your elections. You make sure that
Right.
it wasn't stolen. So because we want to do business with democracy, so this is the way we go about it. So the person, oh no, I can't. Well, so goodbye. You can't. So they make it, it's a bit like, I know it sounds crazy, but imagine, how the country have countries that do like chemical weapons or whatever, right? It's like
Right.
this is a weapon. It's not a chemical weapon because people don't die from it directly, but it's like something like this. If you don't have systems in place to check for this, then we can't let you continue. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So this is it. So now, is Mark Rutte you know what? That's right. I think we already have the
Yeah, I
question.
think we answered that. He was. Yes.
What are Biden's plans now that this has been exposed? Okay, so let's ask. So what
Okay.
are his plans now? And I see that he has the same, he's in a podium, he has the
Mm-hmm.
blackboard explaining what happens. So the plan is to expose it. So I guess the
Yeah.
direct question is, what is he going to do about the 2024 election? Really, what is Biden going to do? What are the plans about what he's going to do about 2024 election now that this has been exposed? What's he going to do about the 24? Or is
Yeah. He's going to stop Trump's not going in. He's going to stop it. Whatever means he has to use, I'm hearing. So
Mhm.
whether that be the is it PEAD that, or is it either that, or I don't, I think also he has NATO behind him with all this other stuff going on in Romania that it can be stopped and held for a little bit
Mhm.
without anything going forward.
Oh, and I got.
Because,
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go on. No, finish. Finish. I interrupt you.
Because now he has, with, I'm sorry, I'm just going to repeat what I was said. Now that he has NATO behind him, he can do more with the access he has to our laws to stop things as well.
Okay.
So yes, I do see him stopping it.
Okay. So yes, just to add to this, so I did see what I thought was interesting is that he he has a plans to come out with everything, and then I see that because I see that in the background or else in the foreground even, I see that Mark Rutte is with him, and the fact that NATO caught it, it kind of give not say gets him off the hook, but it's saying you cannot use the excuse that is like a Democrat thing.
Exactly.
Like, are you gonna call NATO a Democrat thing? No.
Right. It's been
So,
the,
so this
yeah.
is why this is the way out of it for us. NATO is
Yep.
exactly what I like I said before, that NATO is sort of like saves us in the end, just so we
Yep.
save them in the World War II because they're like, you know what, this is an attack on the country. And so they can't it from that perspective, it's like from outside the country, it's like who cares about it's not about the party, it's about the fact that your elections are completely compromised. So so it doesn't really matter what party it comes from. The point is it
Right.
happened. And so he doesn't make and he's like, I see that he's very secure. Mark Rutte is like, I do not care about, oh, are you a liberal or whatever? He doesn't care about that. And it's not the point. The point is there was an attack. And if the question is, what are you pro Russia or are you pro America? That's the bottom line.
Right.
And then I see, wow, it's interesting. Even though I didn't ask, I see that the other person who gets sick is Tucker Carlson. Like they start sweating cold
Oh
because they're
God,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Think something's gonna happen? No, no way. And then he's like, and then someone's like, look, and I see a lawyer of his calling. He's like, you know what, Tucker, I have to tell you this. You may never be able to fly to France ever again. You can never leave the US. You can never travel to Italy or whatever. What, man? What are you talking about? Well, you are an agent of influence of the enemy of the United States. Therefore, it's like it's saying it's just like those people that during the World War II, they were in the Vichy regime or whatever. They were working against their own citizens, right? So it's like, yeah, well, listen, but it's just a bunch of liberals, just like, well, actually, you know what, Tucker, you just were there, remember? You just went to Moscow, remember?
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Yeah. No, it's great. And I think that's wonderful that NATO is actually going to, almost like you said, pressure Biden to do it, because it makes, like I've always said, it makes NATO be the head of that.
mhm,
And that's what America needs.
yes, yes,
We
yes.
have to have that. That's why Biden has been giddy this whole time for me,
Mhm.
because he knows that he's got it out with NATO.
Yes, yes. So, okay. So the next question is, how easy or how hard will it be to do something about it here, just like Romania did over there? How hard or how it's saying? No, it's saying that US has all the information, and it's saying, and it's like it's not the time or the point of this now to go back to this issue. They have collected all this information for years, and we know that poor reality winner went to prison for exposing
Mm-hmm.
the fact.
Mm-hmm.
What did she say? She said, I found this document that said that Russia had breached our voting systems and nothing was done, right? She had to go to prison. She spent years in prison because of that.
Right.
So like we can't talk about like, oh no, no, no. So now there is no more excuse. And it's saying that whoever was doing the gaslighting, you can't do that anymore. It's over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is it.
Yeah. And NATO has to do something about it, because otherwise, what good is NATO?
Just exactly.
So that's why we're at this point. It's time.
Mhm. Okay, so I think we already answered this question in terms because this is as we had said earlier in this video that things are going to happen. So the question is, does it mean that things are happening here too? Yes, yes, right? Because we saw them
Mm-hmm.
days. That's right. If things okay, then the next question: if things are happening, what happens next in the U.S.? I think what happens next. Okay, so what happens next in the U.S.? I see there. It's interesting. The table is overturned. They're going to overturn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're going to show everything, and then
Mm-hmm.
I see that Elon in the airplane like being diverted back. And it was like, sir, we have to land for
Yeah,
fuel. Uh-huh.
yeah,
So
yep,
so then wow, and then what else? Wow. Wow, okay. Wow, okay.
yep.
So, okay, so that's it. That's yes. So then the ridiculousness of so I just wanted to bring this is like so ridiculous, but hopefully it's not gonna it's, it's not gonna last. Like we're finally are gonna do something about us here. So this is in the article that I showed from the Financial Times. The bottom of the article it says this is talking about Romania. Prosecutors in Romania have restarted multiple probes following the evidence presented by the intelligence service. The U.S. State Department also warned this week about foreign actors seeking to shift Romania's foreign policy away from its Western alliances, which it said would have serious negative impacts on U.S. security cooperation. But then, what about us, right? Like, here's this
Yeah,
common criticism from the U.S. It's like, oh, you're wagging your finger, but what about your situation? It's exactly that I think we're not gonna it's like we can't wag finger at other people if we're not doing something about our own situation.
right.
So let's see. So are we gonna do something about our situation or is it just gonna that's right. Oh, it's saying that it's one of the first things that Russia wants from Trump is that change the State Department to never say anything bad about Russia. So yes, so we are going to do something because I don't see them changing, but that's one of the things if Trump were to go into power,
Mm-hmm.
they would want because of course the whole point of Trump being power is to help us.
Yes, to serve Russia. It's the whole presidency.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with running anything good here in America. It's just handing everything over.
Wow. Okay. So wow. So that's
Yeah.
it, right, Karina? That's it. That's it. Wow. So
Yeah.
we addressed this and we answered the questions that we had. So we'll be back tomorrow because there's a lot to talk about. I'm sure, but we just wanted to focus today on the Romanian situation and how it affects what's coming. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. I think it's exciting news.
Okay. All right. So we're ready to pause recording, Karina?
Yes, we are.
All right.